And hello everyone, welcome to another Let's Play. This is Myrokos, and today, sorry about that, just need to update a little thing there. And welcome to another Let's Play, and today we will be wrapping up the Pre-Stormblood pre-patch content. After taking a little bit of a break, we'll just keep going. I'm currently on my Dark Knight. I'm trying to balance my jobs so I'm not out leveling too much. And I think I want to work on my Dark Knight a little bit more, especially on this part here where we're still in the pre-patch content. So without further ado, the obvious solution. The interminable wait for news from Gridania seems to be taking its toll on Alize. Ah, Myrokos, I wish I had more to tell you, but the situation in the East Shroud remains largely unchanged. Meaning, we still have no idea how long it will be before... A communication from the Alliance. One moment. Yes, of course. Our representatives will be present. My thanks. Word from Gridania. The council will shortly be reconvened. The Alliance leaders have already begun to assemble. They wish to discuss the Primal, of course. As of Ishtola's last report, the cocoon yet hung above the wall, unchanged. Yes, but the Elder Seedseer doubtless shares our concerns about how long it will remain so. I am told that Sid Garland has been called in to add his expertise to the proceedings. A wise decision. The more minds we have working on this, the better. Well then, I suggest we leave the Rising Stones in Tataru's capable hands, and make haste for the Lotus Sand. Oh, Vesper Bay. Who's this?
A word, if you would, good sir. This place, it is within the realm of Eorzea.
Let it ride.
You're an odd-looking fellow, aren't you? Still, takes all sorts, I suppose. This here's Vesper Bay. Thanalan's door to the ocean, as some folk like to call it.
Am I to understand from your answer that I have indeed arrived in Eorzea?
Eh? Yes, you're in Eorzea.
Ah! A plain response at last, and the one I wanted at that. My journey was not without its hardships, and I would sooner travel by land than put to sea again. You do not believe that so small a bark could bear me across the ocean? Such timid little sailors. I had but to set my course and set my jaw till I made port.
Came in that.
Though, 'twould perhaps have been wise to lay down my oars a moment to sup on more than the spray of brine water. By the trembling of my limbs, I sense a brief repast may be in order. Nay, I will not hearken to the feeble grumblings of an empty belly. Duty comes before all.
Good God, man. Are you all right?
Thou art far indeed from home, friend.
Okay, okay, so now we need to go to New Gridania. If you like what you see at any point, make certain you like, share, subscribe. Like, share, subscribe. Hit the notification bell. Follow me on Twitch. You know what to do. Conjurer's Guild. Welcome, Warrior of Light. This way, if you please. I have a feeling it's going to be a nocturnal scene. Yep. So it goes. On the bright side, the nocturnal scenes means that the lamps actually have more purpose. But at least it isn't raining.
Dear friends, pray accept my heartfelt thanks for your efforts in defense of Gridania's borders. I would fain dwell longer on my gratitude for the support of the Alliance, but the situation at Belsar's Wall demands that we forego such pleasantries.
According to our most recent intelligence, the cocoon of light that formed in the air above the wall remains undimmed and unbroken. After measuring the cocoon's etheric concentrations, Archon Y'shtola has confirmed the presence of a primal entity.
So we must assume that Ilbert's thrice-damned god is indeed trapped within. And what news of the Imperials? They're not like to ignore such a spectacle.
Sir, a Garlean airship was observed making an approach, but the vessel was destroyed when it drew near. The Empire appears to have made no subsequent attempts to reach the object.
The soldiers who witnessed the incident spoke of a lance of light issuing from within the cocoon. Of an entire warship being reduced to smoking ruin in the space of a moment. Veterans of Cartano, meanwhile, likened the destruction to that wrought by the fiery wrath of Bahamut.
We could face another calamity.
So the Primal is awake then? Contained, yes, but for how long? We must destroy it now, lest it break free.
Agreed. There is, however, the small matter of how to get close enough to a being that swats warships from the sky as you would a bothersome gnat.
Is this truly so complex a puzzle? Or have you no stomach for the obvious solution?
Oh, it's Nero.
What in the hells are you doing here?
A pleasure to see you too, Garland. Now, if you'd be so kind as to explain to these good people why you should be begging me for my assistance, that would be most appreciated.
Wait, I have to be escorted here by the twin serpents. He can just walk in? Gridania, you have a security problem. You treat me with...
Who is this man?
Yeah. Oh. Oh boy.
Oh, how terrifically rude of me. Nero Tolskeva, former tribunus of the 14th Legion of the Garlean Empire. These days, however, one might say that I'm something of a free agent.
What do you want, Nero?
I was getting to that. Although you already know what I'm about to propose, old friend. As you have rather belatedly realized, within that frail binding lurks an entity alike in strength to the great Bahamut, and the only force in existence which might conceivably contend with such a foe is the very creation which captured the Elder Primal in the first place. I speak, of course, of Omega.
Omega? That hulk has been gathering dust beneath the plains of Cartanau since the Allegans breathed their last. And none alive knows how to wake it.
I'm sorry? Do you understand who it is with whom you have the privilege of speaking? I'm Nero Tolskeva, Master Engineer, the mechanical genius who restored the Ultima weapon to full operational capacity. And as luck would have it, I'm graciously offering you the use of my considerable expertise.
And what, you just expect us to accept? You're a fool if you think your deeds at the Crystal Tower are enough to win my trust, Nero.
Trust? You wound me, Garland. All those years, studying side by side at the Academy, sharing both trial and triumph, we were countrymen once, you and I. But sentiment aside, have you a better solution? Or do you mean to send in your vaunted hero there, as you always do, and pray the world is not engulfed in flame? Let us approach the problem in a rational manner. Does not the fact that Omega slumbers in stasis point to the existence of some overriding technology? A means of control?
I would ask a question, if I may. Nero, was it not? In the event that we succeeded in using Omega to shackle the Primal in the manner you propose, what then would become of it? Do we not risk repeating the mistakes of the Allegans?
Omega is but a tool. How we choose to employ that tool is entirely up to us. Of course, if you would rather leave it buried beneath Cartanau while you continue your petty squabbles above, then I suppose that is also your choice.
Spare us, Nero. The Seedseer's concern is a valid one. He who controls Omega wields the power of the gods, the very power which led the Allegans to destroy themselves.
And does it not fall to we engineers to prevent such misuse? What was your company's proud slogan? Freedom through technology?
A creed you follow, is it? What say you? Do we take this villain at his word?
Nero has a habit of betraying us, and I didn't like that. Yeah, Because he's up to something. He wants... I think he wants Omega for himself. And he just sees us as a means of him getting control over it. But we do need to deal with the Primal. And nobody else has a better idea. No, I don't trust him, but I'll keep an eye on him.
As will I. I don't like it, but then it doesn't look like we have much choice. Would the Council be willing to entrust this matter to a pair of former Imperials?
Yes. The task of restoring the Allagan relic will be yours. But the responsibility for its reawakening must remain with the Council. Do we condone this course of action?
Aye. 'Twould seem we do. Let the record show that we invest this contingent with the authority to enter Carteneau and take command of Omega. Sid, I appoint you leader of the expedition. Scions, I would ask that you assign some few of your number to escort Master Garland and supervise the other one.
We should be happy to oblige. The politics of Carteneau being what they are, I dare say our neutrality will prove useful in avoiding any unnecessary entanglements.
If I am not mistaken, Doma occupies a similarly neutral position. Might we not persuade you to join the expedition, Lady Yugiri? If you suspected any foul play from Nero, you would be welcome to kill him.
My blade is yours.
Not a moment's hesitation, eh? You'll forgive me if I do not shake your hand.
This is gonna be one hell of a team. Well, that was a rather unexpected development, and one which raises a number of questions, not least among them how Nero chanced to learn of the Council's meeting in the first place. Yeah, or how he managed to get into the meeting without getting caught by security. I have to check in with this conjurer here next to this serpent officer just to be allowed in. How did he get in? The greater obeisance. They say, think that's how you pronounce it. Alphino is eager to join Sid and the others. Sid and the others are assembling at the airship landing. Alize is already on her way, and it would not do to lag too far behind. Let us be off. Unfortunately, I can just use that. Where is everyone? Good question. Myrokos, Alphino. Ready to go? The others have stepped out onto the landing for a moment. Lest you wonder, Nero insisted that he be allowed to inspect the Excelsior before boarding. But you let him inspect your ship without you there to supervise him? Oh. And that was literally my question. And you let him? Despite his very timely offer of assistance, the thought of that man poking about the workings of the ship without proper supervision does not fill me with confidence. Calm yourself, Alphino. Your sister was adamant that he would never leave her sight. She and Yugiri are... Ah, well, here they are now. Right, I think that's everyone. Shall I set a course for Cartano? Might I ask that we delay our departure slightly? I require no more than a few hours at most. Our colleagues are studying the cocoon even as we speak, and I would hear the latest their latest observations ere we proceed. Okay, that's fair, but it's sort of we go quick, okay, let's go, and then, nope, we're waiting, what? Oh, Alphino, it would seem wise to gain as clear an understanding of the situation as possible before formulating our plan. Oh? I thought time was against us. How foolish of me. For once I agree with Nero. Hold your tongue. When we want your opinion, we'll ask for it. Forgive me, my lady. I shall keep my counsel until such time as you have finished procrastinating. Alright. While Alphino speaks with his colleagues, I shall fly the Excelsior over to Mordona, and we can reconvene at the Rising Stones. Mine apologies for the trouble. I shall visit Ishtola and the others forthwith, and join you as soon as I am able. Myrokos, pray accompany Alize back to the Rising Stones. I should feel safer knowing you are present to entertain our guest. Right. Everyone heading for Mordona is welcome to travel aboard the Excelsior. I'll clear things with the girl at the counter here. Let her know when you're ready to leave. I wonder. Just wonder. If I go to the East Shroud, yeah, I should still see the cocoon in the sky. But will there be other scions there? I'm kind of curious myself. Oh, it's foggy, of course it's foggy. There's always fog when I stream. Well, not absolutely always, but close enough. No sign of the other scions. I literally just wasted some gil. I have a feeling we gotta say goodbye to Papa Limo. Bye, Papa Limo. And like, yes, he's dead, but essentially he transformed himself into that cocoon, and that's all that's left of him. And we're going to destroy it. Now it's foggy in here too. So it goes. At least it was somewhat clear for that meeting. Here's a question for you. Why is it that the game's weather always goes to fog or rain when you start streaming? Let me know in the comments. You are traveling with Master Garland, sir. The Enterprise Excelsior is right this way. Oh, and it's got foggy here too. Good heavens. What manner of airship has no private cabins? Then again, I suppose Garland has had to find somewhere to stow his half-baked inventions. Ooh. I do not care for that man. Yeah, nobody does, but himself. Strange though it may seem, Nero's former loyalties do not trouble me, but I can see why people are loath to lower their guard around him. Not quite a door-to-door service, but I couldn't exactly land her in the Toll's main square. Yeah, and the Adventurers Guild didn't exactly build Revenant's Toll with an airship port in mind, though maybe they should consider adding one. Granted, it has an aetheroid, but if we're going to keep taking an airship to and from Revenant's Toll, we may need an airship strip. Yeah. Shall we adjourn to the Rising Stones, then? I mean, it's got parts that are high enough. Like, this could easily be converted to an airship landing. We must be careful, old friend. The walking weapons of Alleg were expressly designed to subdue primals, but men like Gaius will always seek to use them against mankind. It falls to us to ensure that Omega is never employed as a weapon of war. In the wrong hands, it would be. It would be bad. One was created to capture Bahamut, and the other to surpass him. Which will prove the stronger, I wonder. Which indeed. Fear not, I shall keep a close eye on our new ally. I know Nero's a guest here, but we don't exactly have the happiest history with the Empire, do we? So my question to you is, do I offer him tea? Well, if we have a reputation of rolling out the welcome mat for people, I suppose the answer is theoretically yes, but if the general consensus is that we don't fully trust this person, probably not. Like, only if you won't put it out for everyone, Tataru. Only if you put it out for everyone. The others are gone. Ah, the determination upon their faces. There is nothing more blinding than youth burning with purpose. Hoary Balder and his companions left to continue reconnaissance on the beast tribes. They were adamant about shouldering what burdens they could, while the senior scions were occupied with this cocoon emergency. Okay, so that's why they're all gone.
So these are the fabled headquarters of the Scions. I confess I would have expected an order of self-proclaimed warrior scholars to surround themselves with the fruits of man's enlightenment. And yet there's not so much as a single piece of magitech in sight.
Maybe we just like it that way. Besides, we have books.
It never ceases to amaze me how primitive you Eorzeans truly are.
Oh, I'll have you know that the Rising Stones is home to the very latest in magitech innovation. Wedge calls it the Mark 14 Thermocoil Boil Master, and it's the finest kettle I've ever had the pleasure to own.
We are returned. Well, Ida and I, at least. Ishtola and the others remain behind to continue their assessment of the binding magic.
There didn't seem much point staying just for that, so I decided to come back with Alphino. Papalimo bought us this time. We shouldn't waste it.
By your leave!
Good God, that voice could fell a gigas.
This is the Rising Stones, domicile of the Scions of the Seventh Dawn. I enter at the invitation of one Lord Urianger. I spy you there, Shadow Walker. You always were a hard one to find.
Yugiri, do you know this man?
Gosetsu! Why are you come to Eorzea?
In search of you, Yugiri. For days and nights did I row across the angry sea. I made port in good spirits, only for my own flesh to betray me over the trifling matter of an empty belly. Collapsed in the street like an unfed stray I was, until Lord Urianger came to my aid. Over a most welcome meal, we spoke of the plight of Doma, and I learned of our displaced countrymen's work to resettle this blighted land. 'Twas blind fortune that I was able to locate you so swiftly. But now we must make ready to depart. Our master languishes in dire peril, and Doma calls her daughter home.
But I thought it was
It is not so
destroyed.
simple, Gosetsu. There are obligations which bind me here.
You refuse? Did you mislay your oath during your flight from our homeland? The laws of hospitality must be honored, but surely the vow to defend your master demands the greater obeisance.
It was our master who bid me guide our people to safe haven by any means necessary. And it was the scions you see before you who provided us succor and sanctuary when all others refused. Dire peril or no, were I to return without first repaying such hospitality, our master would cut me down at the threshold.
Mayhap that is so.
There is more. A crisis threatens all within this realm, Eorzean and Doman alike, and I go to play my part in its resolution. I will not bring shame upon our liege by abandoning my people or my duty.
How very noble of you. Now, in the name of honor, kinship, and, yes, practicality, might I suggest we get this expedition underway? Or would you rather debate the finer points of duty and leave Omega to the Empire?
The Empire? You, Giddy? You draw steel against the curse of Garlemald? Then why did you not say so? My blade is oath-bound to fall upon the ranks of the Imperials wheresoever they march. Lead on, Shadow Walker, and may the enemy tremble at our coming.
Oh, so he's a samurai. Doman samurai, okay. I could have sworn that samurai were Hingon. Myrokos, wait, could I speak to you for a moment? Sure. Do you remember when I had you meet me at the Diamond Forge and we, ambushed you? Vividly, Tataru, I remember that. Well, once we had your measurements, I set to work making you a traveling outfit in my spare time. I've only just this moment finished the stitching, but I wanted you to have it before you left. Here. You can try it on right now if you like. Really? Really? What is this outfit? Oh, she even turned her back, so oh, okay. Nice. Assuming we measured correctly, the fit should be just right. Snug, but not too snug, if you know what I mean. So, how does it feel? You're not just saying that, are you? Oh, I can't tell you how much this means to me. To have crafted something worthy of the Warrior of Light it's, well, let's just say, it makes all the practice worthwhile. I also sewed in a blood pearl charm, too. You know, bring you home. The blood pearl charms, she said she was gonna make them. Oh, so she did make them. That is such a nice touch. May it always protect you. Yeah, but where is it? Okay, so we get a whole set of gear. Though I would have expected a T for Tataru instead of the Rowena's R, but okay, do I have, yes, I do have glamour prisms. I think I need to take a small break. Just a little divergence. Let's see. Yeah, let's go to Foundation. It's closest. Go to the inn, drop off the glam. Just so it's not clogging up my bags and whatnot. And just, Monocle, jacket. Isn't there a hand? No indication of hands. Maybe there wasn't. Just scroll back and make some. Okay, monocle inventory. Jacket, bottoms. Okay, yeah, so it was just those. So, okay, with that little diversion out of the way, back to Modana. Not bad. Not in the pants certainly work for this. Yeah. Though instead of Rowena as R, it should be a T for Tataru since Tataru made it. One small little tailoring thing. But who knows, if she's trying to mass fabricate this sort of thing, she probably added some sort of a neck tag thing to say that, you know, made by Tataru. Just the 2 unexpected guests then. Still, I suspect that each will prove useful in his own way. The Mark 14 Thermocoil Boil Master. Dear me, how risible must the previous 13 iterations been. I could design a more efficient water heater in the time it took that ill-conceived lump to become lukewarm. Oh, I think he's gonna fit right in. Yeah, talking about Gosetsu here, not... or is he talking about Nero? Truly, I had no idea Domans could be so loud. He and Yugiri could hardly be more different. Never did I think to hear Gosetsu's voice echo through these halls. How dare he mock the scions like that? If I ever had to sew a set of traveling clothes for him, I just might forget about the pins. My blade shall ever carve a path through the Empire's ranks as a scythe fells stalks of wheat. Okay? I'm assuming Nero is the one that Tataru was talking about. Oh well, fly free, my pretty. Ida's eyes shine with rekindled determination. So, we have to wake Omega up, right? When do we start? She's still eager. Ida, are you sure that's... I'm sure, yes. I won't lie and say I'm completely fine, but I feel a lot better if I'm doing something useful. Very well, I will remain here and continue coordinating our efforts with the Alliance. Alphino, mayhap you could return to Gridania and assist Ishtola and Kryl. A fine suggestion. The rest of us will form the Cartano Expedition Party. Nero and I will focus on rousing Omega, while Myrokos, Ida, and our Doman friends take care of security. The Excelsior is by the lake just outside town. We'll leave as soon as everyone's ready. Well, finally, it's clear, it's sunny, it's bright. Yay. Just cirrus clouds, but otherwise pretty clear. Very nice. Yeah, seriously, why can't that be transformed into an airship tower? Or that, if you need something with a little bit more of a landing capacity. Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's kind of small, but yeah, with a little work, it might just work if the airships stay outside. Ugh. I mean, hell, Ishgard's airstrip landing is open air. It's in the city, yes, but it's open air. Soon, Omega, soon. I will see you rise again. Soon. This guy. Gosatsu is an accomplished swordsman. Should it come to battle, he will prove a staunch ally. Would that I could say the same for Nero. Will this contraption truly bear us through the skies? He's nervous about getting on an airship? Okay. He literally sailed across the world in a rowboat, and he's afraid to get on an airship. Okay. I was a bit lost for a while back there, but I'll be fine. Trust me. Okay. We haven't far to go. With any luck, we'll be in Cartano before Gosatsu graces the deck with his dinner. Oh my goodness. Once there, however, we had best be on guard. Given that Aline Ryle was still active when Omega was discovered, we can be sure that the Empire has long been aware of its existence. And if Nero deemed it the obvious solution to the threat posed by this new primal, it is not impossible that Garlemald might do the same. Have your weapons ready and your wits about you. Something tells me we're flying into a fight. Okay, let's give this a shot. Well, at least he didn't vomit. At least that we saw.
Now, where was that? Ah!
I've enabled the teleporter. One brief jump and we shall arrive in Omega's control room.
And let's let it ride for now. Keep it simple.
How convenient. You've been here before.
Of course. It was no easy task threading a path through all the skirmishes. But how could I ignore the existence of such a fascinating toy? You may trust that my preliminary examination was suitably thorough.
Trust? Aye. I trust your appetite for technology.
I chased down a suspect airship, and who should I find but the traitor, Sid Garland. Searching for something, engineer? Something big? It's close, isn't it? It's like all my name days have come at once.
What? Oh boy.
Of all the scouts the Empire could have sent. Take care of that brute, will you?
God damn it. Can't let Nero tinker around in there by himself. I'm sorry to leave you to it, but I dare say you'll manage without me. This clod has no idea who he's dealing with.
Maybe I should have been samurai.
I am Gosetsu, samurai of Doma. You will rue your choice of opponent this day.
Gosetsu. I like that name.
You watching, Pabaliro? Leave this to me.
With soul and steel.
This one'll sting. No retreat. No surrender.
Look upon a samurai of Doma.
No holding back. Your defense is lacking. It's all over now. An opening.
Well, that was pretty good. Surrender. We have you outnumbered. Excuse me? We were killing your people. Why should we surrender? Wouldn't be the first time. Are you still playing with those soldiers? I suppose I can lend you one of my toys, but only if you promise to give it back. Just what is he on to now? Isn't this something that they put into the store? Behold, the Red Baron. Now end this nonsense. What the? No one told me they'd have Magitech armor. Forward for the Empire. The honorless cur thinks to abandon his men. I shall see that he shares their fate. Pray attend to the rest of his minions. Okay, so Gosetsu's being a bro, and he's dealing with the rat.
You watching, Pabalimo?
No retreat. No surrender.
With soul and steel!
It's all over now.
Leave this to me.
I have you!
Oh.
No holding back.
An opening.
Look upon a samurai of Doma!
This one'll sting.
Your defense is lacking.
'Tis my right to strike!
You watching, Pabalimo?
No retreat. No surrender.
With soul and steel!
It's all over now.
Hey, where'd it go? Oh, please? Oh, goodness me. Pitiful. Yeah. Yeah, that is pitiful. You bring this fate upon yourself.
Leave this to me.
I have you!
No holding back.
An opening.
Look upon a samurai of Doma!
This one'll sting.
Your defense is lacking.
I think my cat is yelling for me. So we just let him get away.
Temporal stasis disengaged. All systems operational. Garland?
All clear on this side. It's waking up.
Big red, of course it's right. Big red button is never a good thing.
Remarkable. Omega sensors immediately detected the presence of the cocoon, even at this distance. They must have been set to scan for sources of energy exceeding certain magnitudes.
I still don't see any means to control the machine directly. It seems to have been designed to act wholly autonomously. Once we release Omega, we can be fairly certain it will attempt to capture the Primal at Belsar's wall. Assuming its mission is successful, our only option at that point will be to re-engage its stasis system and put it back to sleep.
And should the machine happen to misbehave, we'll simply initiate an emergency shutdown. I confess we don't yet have a complete grasp of its capabilities, but I'm certain the details will not elude us for long.
Well, I understood less than half of that. So, my question to you is, are we doing the right thing?
But you're really asking that question? You who have been so eager to rush to action without thinking. Sounds like you have a thought, so share.
What do I think?
Well, you were the one who spoke. You seem to have an idea.
All right. Step aside, Sid. Is this the thing I need to press?
Yes, that's the one.
The big red button. Always a do not press.
You gave too much for us to waste this chance, Papalimo. So this is for you. And me.
Yes! Fly free, my pretty! Show us what you can do!
The launch sequence has begun. Omega is loose. Omega has stopped transmitting. But that shouldn't be. I didn't engage the stasis system.
And what does this signify? I have little understanding of these contrivances.
The launch went exactly to plan, but all signals emanating from Omega have ceased. This may indicate any number of things, but we will need to join the Scions out in the field if we are to ascertain which one.
Right. I've ordered a malfunctioning beast to go to sleep. That should prevent any unfortunate mishaps. I suggest we make our way back to Gridania.
Omega destroyed the cocoon. Papalimo's spell is fading. It was bound to his ether, you see. And if the connection is broken...
Then why did your Archon work? What's going on? I'm missing something. Okay, so yeah. I'm not sure why we lost contact with Omega, but I mean to find out. Let's be on our way. Right? I came as soon as I heard the Excelsior had been spotted on its approach. One moment everything was functioning perfectly, and the next it wasn't. It makes no sense. We need to see what happened for ourselves, and soon. Alphino looks like he has news for us. I almost dread to ask. The far edge of fate. Alphino has the look of a man with much to say. Okay. Words can ill express how glad I am to see that you are all unharmed. When Omega came hurtling towards the cocoon, everything dissolved into chaos. I have to see it. I have to see it with my own eyes. Ida, wait. We must first... The Elder Seed Seer is expecting us. Worry not, Alphino. Gosetsu and I will watch over her. You may safely attend your meeting. My thanks, Yugiri. The council reconvened a short while ago. Let us make haste for the Lotus Stand. All there are eager to hear your testimony. Say no. Okay, the Elder Seed Seer awaits you within. Nighttime again. My, how time flies. At least it's clear and not raining, at least for the moment. Ah yes, talk to everyone. Another calamity averted, eh? How many times now have you and yours hauled us back from the brink? 'Twould seem Garland's little friend was as good as his word. Had I not instructed you to throw Nidhogg's accursed eyes into the abyss, I was saying don't do that. All of this might have been avoided. I thought them beyond reach. Okay, nobody else to talk to. So... My friends, full eagerly have we awaited your return. Few indeed could have discharged the duty entrusted to you, and most humbly do we thank you for seeing it done. You are too kind, Elder Seedseer. As I recall, we as good as demanded the right to try, but tell me, how did the battle unfold? Hold on, I'm busy. Maybe. No, your bed was briefly taken. Your new bed was briefly taken. It's gonna be back. Don't worry. You are too kind, Elder Seedseer. As I recall, we as good as demanded the right to try, but tell me, how did the battle unfold? We succeeded in waking Omega, aye, but we lost contact with the weapon shortly after it launched. From our position in the control room, we were blind to all that followed. What words could do such a scene justice? None of my choosing, that much is certain. But I can give you the facts. But, please stop climbing the wall. But I can give you the facts. The cocoon hatched even as Omega arrived, and from its midst rose a great dragon. The pair duly set about each other in the skies over Girabanya. The primals might defied belief. It seemed the very heavens would be rent asunder by the force. One moment. Apologies about that. My cat decided now is a very good time to just jump around and start knocking everything over where I was. I needed to pause for a moment. While dealing with that, I do apologize. In the meantime, where were we? Let me just start over. The primals might defy belief. It seemed the very heavens would be rent asunder by the force of its blows. And it wielded such magics as I have never seen, and hope never to see again. The battle raged on, with no end in sight, until both combatants were engulfed in a blinding flash of light. When the radiance faded, I saw the pair fall motionless from the sky, coming to rest somewhere on Alamegan soil. I will not speak for the rest, but to my eye it seemed that each had landed a fatal blow upon the other. While most among us could think only of Bahamut when looking upon the primal's form, the Domans were heard to whisper the name Shinryu. It would appear that the being resembles a creature of Far Eastern legend, and we have found it convenient to refer to it as such. This Shinryu's fate, and indeed that of Omega, is yet unknown. We have, alas, no eyes on the Girabanyan side of the border. Aye. Which is why we have sent our main force under the command of Marshal Tarapen to capture the wall. With the Imperials in disarray, we have the perfect opportunity to secure Gridania's border and assess the aftermath of the impact. I myself will join the Marshal and his men when the Council is adjourned. Well, that explains a few things. I'll wager that flash of light coincided with our loss of contact. Lest you wonder, we quickly re-engaged Omega's stasis systems, so even if it has fallen into the Empire's lap, it will be of no use to them, save perhaps as a statue. Correct. Without me to guide their efforts, it would take them decades to decipher Omega's core functions, if they managed that at all. Such reassurances do much to calm our fears, yet the relic's fate is but one of several concerns. Indeed, I humbly submit that the time has come for us to make contact with the Resistance representatives in Girabanya, though Ilbred has forced our hand, Ilbred has forced our hand, it would seem only logical to seek an alliance. Given the inevitability of Imperial retaliation, and by working in concert, it is not impossible that Alamigo might finally be wrested from Garlemald's grasp. The operation to take the wall will be Ishgard's first military action under Alliance banners. Though I have no appetite for bloodshed, a part of me is glad of the chance to begin reparations for our past inaction. Pray accept my humblest and most earnest thanks once again, Warrior of Light. Had Shinryu been suffered to roam free, the Twelveswood would surely have been laid to waste. I go to oversee operations at Balzar's Wall. You have done your part. Leave us to handle the initial Imperial reprisal and rest while you may. When the Primal emerged, I was for an instant transported back to Cartano, to the moment the Black Worm made an eighth hell of the battlefield. Gladly would I live out the rest of my days without seeing such a sight again. If, as seems likely, we put Omega into stasis after all, big if there, Sid. What did they call it? Yes, after Shinryu was defeated, we should have little to fear from either one of them. Yeah, but that still leaves Omega and a Primal out there. I should very much like to see this Shinryu creature for myself. I don't think that would be wise. No, not at all. You must be exhausted. I would ordinarily suggest we retire directly to the Rising Suns, but I wonder if we might make a small detour. Stola and the others have gathered at Amerisai's spire, and I imagine that you two would be interested to see what has become of the wall now the cocoon is gone. Okay? It is decided then. Lead on. Oh, he bids me lead on and then walks off. Well, might as well save myself some gil. And it's still clear out, yay! No more fog. At least for the moment. Well, the wall still stands, and indeed, the cocoon is gone. And Biggs and Lunge will be happy to hear that this mount was moving rather slow. Just as I was warned. Lots of places it can go and some it can't. No trace of the cocoon remains. 'Tis as if it never existed. Oh, thank the 12. After witnessing Omega's single-minded onslaught, I had visions of you being trapped between it and its target. Hardly the most rational concern, I concede, but if you had seen what I saw... Okay.
My friends, I cannot well express how glad I am to see you both unharmed. They say that Omega's clash with the Primal shook the very firmament.
You need not have worried. The battle took place far above the ground. We were able to observe in relative safety, though I'm given to understand that there were casualties on the far side of the wall.
It was like watching a nightmare unfold before our very eyes. Ilberd's primal manifested in the form of a colossal dragon, a being of pure violence. It burst forth from the cocoon with such terrible force.
That such a horror should spring from the eyes of Nidhogg comes as no surprise. Nor do I wonder at its form. Ilberd all but announced it in the moments prior to his death. Plainly, it was his dying wish to visit a second calamity upon the Empire.
And I am quite certain the abomination would have obliged had it not found itself outmatched by Omega. Gods! I am no stranger to the works of Allag, but even I was unprepared for the machine's furiosity. It beggared belief.
And how fares poor Ida in the midst of all this? Have you spoken with her?
She's up on the platform, lost in thought. We deemed it best not to disturb her, but mayhap she would welcome some company after all. Shall we?
The light's gone. It was all we had left of him.
Ida.
I don't blame anyone. I knew what was going to happen. I knew the spell Papalimo meant to cast would drain away his life force. I knew that it would only buy us a little time.
Ida, there is no need to explain.
But there is. I can't hide in Papalimo's little shadow anymore, and I shouldn't hide behind my sister's mask. 20 years ago, on the day the Empire marched into Alamigo, I was still just a child, not even 5 summers old. My father had been one of the leaders of the revolution. He had fought to overthrow the Mad King, Theodoric. And my sister had fought alongside him. But she was strong and kind, and always knew what to do. But when the Garleans came, everything changed. My father went to war against them too, and I never saw him again. After that, I remember a lot of running. My sister dragged me for malms and malms until we came to the city of Sharlayan. That was where she met Master Louis Soir. He introduced her to the Circle of Knowing, and she eventually became an Archon.
She was your inspiration. Is that not why you took up her mask and her name? Or did you simply mean to continue what she had started?
You've known all along, haven't you? That I wasn't Ida.
Wasn't Ida?
Of course.
What?
We all recognized you at once. 'Twas Papalimo who persuaded us to maintain the charade.
Well, I didn't
It was
know.
silly to think I could fool you. I knew that even then, but I sort of decided not to know. Ida died 6 years ago, on a mission to smuggle refugees out of Alamigo. They say she was overwhelmed by Imperial soldiers when she stayed behind to save a little girl. She was so strong. There must have been a lot of them.
Yeah, but why didn't you, why did you never tell me?
I'm sorry for lying to you. My real name is Lise. When Papalimo brought me Ida's mask, it was meant as a keepsake, but I decided I wanted to be his new partner, to keep alive all the good that she had done. I didn't want to become Ida, exactly. At the time, though, I still didn't know who I was myself, and it almost seemed easier to play the role. Papalimo agreed to help, of course, but it was never what he wanted for me. He wanted me to walk my own path, and those were his final words to me. The Archon's mark he gave me is faded, and my last excuse along with it. So this is it. Whatever I choose to do from now on, I do as Lys. And I choose to continue my family's fight. I want Alamigo to be the country that Ida and my father always wanted it to be.
War is upon us once more.
Do you regret standing against the Empire? Would you have chosen a different road, knowing what you know now?
To claim that I never doubted the decision would be a lie. But I made my choice, and I have defended it with blade in hand ever since.
The battle continues, and our steel is needed. Come, Shadow Walker, we leave for the east, for Doma.
It was brave of Lys to remove her mask after so long. Though she has scarce begun to come to terms with Papalimo's loss, that one act made plain her determination to move forward. And should she ever falter, we shall be there to support her on this road she has resolved to walk. Let us return to the Rising Stones. We have quite a story to tell to Taru and my sister. That music means only one thing. This is the end of the Stormblood content. Yeah. So just skipping over that, so hopefully don't get dinged when I upload to YouTube. And so with that, I think I shall pause here for now, and then we can, you should have seen the look on Tataru's face when I recounted Lys's, I realize that in retrospect I should perhaps have waited for you to return. I, also told Alize, apologies. He may have mentioned, but Alphino has apprised me of all that came to pass in Gridania. Your only task now is to rest. This is the calm before the storm. Lys has chosen her path, and as her friends, we must do what we can to support that choice. We are fated to join the conflict in any case. Once the Alliance has taken the wall and opened the way to Girobanya, we will have little choice but to fight. Which is not to say that the cause is unworthy. After all, ignoring the plight of those whom one might conceivably save is not wisdom, but indolence. Correct? I, for one, look forward to joining hands with the Alamegans and striking a blow against the tyranny of the Empire. As I rather suspect, do you? Okay. Oop, a cutscene. What's next? Quick march. The Imperials will soon come to their senses, and we must be ready to face their retribution. It's almost time, Father. Aye, almost. Stand firm, Pippin. I learned to brace myself against the charge of the Bull of Alamigo. No foe will dislodge me. Very well, Illbird, or Illbred. I will take our homeland back. For the both of us. Who's that? My Lord Viceroy, our scouts have confirmed the preliminary reports. Balezor's wall has fallen to the Eorzean Alliance. The hunt for Omega and the unknown Icon continues, though both yet elude us, my lord. The battle caused considerable damage across the region. Should we perchance divert some of our forces from the search to undertake necessary reconstruction work? Forgive me, my lord. I did not intend your will be done. Unknown. My spies tell me the Domans call it Shinryu, and that it proved a match for Omega. Yes. The coming days promise to be most interesting. Most interesting. At the far edge of fate, the road begins anew. The heroes look to eastern skies and behold their crimson hue. A dawn of liberation, a gathering storm of blood. See what they did there. I see that. 5 minutes of fate. Okay. So, with that, that's the end of the pre-patch content for Stormblood by the looks of it, and I will call an end to the stream here. If you liked what you saw at any point, like, share, subscribe, give on YouTube, give me a follow on Twitch, hit the notification bell so you know when I go live and when I export and make live on YouTube the next installment, and with that, I shall see you anon, friends.